Hey everyone, how's it going? Gonna be starting in just a second here. I'm just you didn't expect me to start at noon, did you? Come on. It's Friday afternoon here on twitch.tv/slash DDO stream, youtube.com/slash Dungeons and Dragons slash live, and facebook.com. Oh no, my cord slash DDO Unlimited. My cord. Oh my god, I rate a pun! Yes, this is going to be a special episode. Yep. Alright, there we go. This is the culprit. It got wrapped around a chair leg. Yep. I know, it's Friday. Friday. Yeah. Friday. Right here on twitch.tv/slash DDO stream. And Facebook and all the rest. So, hey, this is going to be a real casual show today. I'm not really doing much. It's been a long week. We got a lot going on and a lot happening in the coming weeks. I could talk a little bit about that, of course. And maybe do a little Q&A, but otherwise I'm just on Argo today. And I'm just going to kind of hang out. And I've actually been considering whether I should just do a solo show. But I don't know. Trophy Chaser. So, oh yeah, that's right. I did say I was going to do a pub crawl. That's what I said I was going to do. In Galanda. So generally, it's pretty chaotic. The problem is if there's kind of a fundamental catch-22 involved, which is that if I let people know where I'm going to be in the game world and give them a time for it, then I can't actually arrive and neither will a whole bunch of people because it will kind of crash the instance. And so I have to generally be pretty bandit about it, I guess would be one way to describe it. Alright, let me just double check. Let me refresh my Facebook page, make sure I'm actually streaming. And I am. Hey everyone, how's it going there over on Facebook? Thank you for being here. If I do a solo show, I won't have anyone to raise me. Why, yes, you are correct. But I did say I was going to do a pub crawl, although now I actually don't know if I want to do that. At the time, it seemed like a good idea, but I actually kind of just want to get some questing in such a day, so maybe I'm going to do that. I also, I don't know if you can see this, well, you can if I point the mic at it. So I've got that pop filter in place that someone had suggested I get. Hopefully the sound is okay. I tried to do a mic check and all that beforehand to make sure that the sound of everything is looking pretty good, and so far so good. But let me know if it sucks. And I'll proceed to ignore you. No, I will take your advice and probably do something about it. I am on Argo, actually, right now, because that's where I was, I think, last week. I just logged into Argo before we went live, so... Go PvPing? Yeah, I might actually do a little bit of that. I was thinking about doing that as part of the pub crawl thing, but maybe I'll do that latter half of the show or something like that, so. I have not heard that rumor, Growler. If that's true, then that's interesting, so. Yep. This is live, Elizabeth. How you doing? So for those who wonder why I'm here on a Friday afternoon instead of Wednesday at noon, it's because this past Wednesday was the other game's 12th anniversary. Lord of the Rings Online celebrated 12 years on Wednesday, and so I was doing a big like kind of 12-hour live stream and things like that, and so that I basically swapped where I'd be doing what, so. So that's what's up. I think I had just completed Age of Rage. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should solo today, because people don't get to see that very much. And it'll just kind of be me and my exceptionally high quality abilities that will get me through. Oh, and also I'm going to level up to 15 first. That's what I'm going to do. What blade is this? It's an awesome one is what it is. I just got this one. It's a Tail of the Scorpion, a Falchion. Increased critical threat range, poisonous, or actually no, that's probably something I've got. Metalline, Keen, Vorpal, just empty red for now. I haven't put anything in it yet. It's level 14, which happened to suit because I was kind of in need of a lower level weapon. But predominantly, doesn't that thing look rad? That is one cool looking sword. I like it. That's the kind of thing I'm going to have to probably change my armor eventually to base it around. So. You're right, Growler. Okay, now, however, let me make sure. I do have potions, because if I'm going to solo, I can maybe do this, but I can't do this and not have any healing whatsoever, so I'm going to have to figure something out there. As long as I got those potions, I should be okay. I know most people won't go as high as I do on jump, but I like to do it and not have to worry about itemizing for it, so I tend to do that. Otherwise, I really don't need much. I'm gonna be kind of intimidating, but not really. So I really am not worrying too much on this guy's skill points too much, but I am jumping up my swim a little bit. And I get a feat. So I'm not going to do my past life here, because it just, even though it's a healing word, it just isn't enough. Greater, oh, actually, there we go, greater two-handed. I thought I already had that. But no, so that's next. Okay. I got 7 action points to spend. I'm really just kind of following my typical kind of quick build behavior, where I just jet up Ravager and then kind of start to dip into Frenzy Berserker, and then just kind of keep doing it that way. So I know I definitely want to... I'm going to have to redo that quick. Definitely want to spend that 3rd point in Supreme Cleave, of course. I'll probably end up doing that one for... Yeah. That's a good one. Terrible, but I think I have better ones to do. Not good enough for now. So I actually do have a couple of level 15s who want to join me, so maybe I will invite a few people here. I don't want to be rude. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I have no idea what I'm running. I think what I'm going to do is see where I am on flagging for Evening Star. I can't remember where I am on that in this character. And see what's up at that point. Oh, Duke Murdoch, very interesting. So, yeah, that is an old piece of concept art that I used to create... Or that I used to create that post or whatever on social media, but the actual concept art it comes from is like 2005 era, I think, something like that. It's pretty old. Servants, okay. I would be fine with the lead, but let's go in on hard. This is Argo. All right. All right, let's do Servants of the Overlord here. Alarife and the new Bard songs, nice. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's really cool. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. So I don't know what the fate of that particular lost house as tavern, as it were, is, because it's just such an old piece of concept art. Maybe at the time it was in a design doc somewhere, but never got made or whatever. What were the things that this character had that can cast Resurrection? Not this character, but I think it was the one I had on Wayfinder. And I have two things on that Barbarian build. One is a Jack Jibber's Blade, which I think everyone is very familiar with. That helps me that helps me res myself, right, if I need to. But I also have a Ring of the Ancestors, which is a regular raised dead, not resurrection or whatever, but it's a clicky. And it's just a ring slot. And I believe that comes from the Titan raid, right? Right? Ring of the Ancestors? Anyway, so I've got that on that character. And then on top of that, actually, I guess this must be Thelanis then, because if it was a couple weeks ago, that would have been Thelanis, because the third one I had is a triple positive green steel mace, light mace from way back in the old Aught 8 Shroud days. But that's useful now because of the Ring of the Ancestors and the green steel here. I can kind of play that character in a way that I don't necessarily need to be able to self-res as much, because I've at least got a couple kind of bailout options there, and so that's pretty good. Oh, Slavers of the Shrieking Mines. Okay, Restless Isles. So not Titan Raid, but the Titan Raid pack there. All right. All right, come on into Servants if you are ready. So in terms of news here, the biggest piece of news we have going on is that we have adjusted the release date of Sharn here. So our new release date is now May 14th. Rather than releasing on the original kind of, we had to put a date in there for legal reasons, kind of Sharn page of April 30th, which was, to be fair, an original release date. Instead, we're going to do one last preview on Lamania, and that'll be next Tuesday through next Thursday. And this is basically just kind of a sanity check on polish work and stuff that was done this week. And assuming that it goes well on Lamania, I do think there's still a little bit more polish that the team wants to get done. That probably won't end up getting into a preview just because of time purposes. But it's mostly polish at that point anyway. And then we'll be ready to release in hopefully a fairly good place come May 14th. At least that's the intention here. I don't know if you guys are hearing some kind of fuzzed out audio on your end or not. I don't know if I'm using a Focusrite kind of USB audio interface, and I put in this new mic today, and I'm hearing just a little bit of kind of like, so I hope you're not hearing that on your end, but if you are, well, I'll just have to deal with it later. The reason I actually am not using my regular mic over here is because I wanted to use that mic, because that's my favorite mic, for the 12-hour Lotra stream. If I'm going to be talking for 12 hours, I'm using my favorite mic. Which, by the way, for those who want to know what my favorite mic is, that would be an Audio-Technica AT2020. I mean, certainly there are higher quality mics out there, but for typical price to performance, for kind of regular home podcast studio use, an AT2020 is great. And there's a USB version which doesn't maybe quite have the same level of response that the XLR version does, but is still a very high quality mic. And I'm actually using that at home right now as well as my main USB mic. But of course, that's just my personal, taste showing there. If you want to start doing a Google search of which is a great podcasting mic, oh my god. That's like asking, I don't know, is Star Wars a good movie? What do you like about it? There's a lot of info out there. Well, that's my personal take on it. Although I've also this has changed over the years a little bit. Just because we no longer live in a big USB era and USB mixing board era and things like that. So some of this is less relevant than maybe it used to be. But it used to be for many years that when people would ask me either for radio purposes or podcasting purposes or band purposes, which mic should I get? If you can only get one microphone, one mic that you want to do everything, my recommendation remains, I think, a Shure SM57. It's a great universal mic. It's been a standby for, almost, I guess, 80 years, 85 years or something crazy like that at this point. There's a reason for it. Good. Glad to hear that it's sounding fine on your end. It also, it totally depends on your rig and your needs and all that. But generally, my one answer has been get a Shure SM57. You can use it for music, you can use it for vocals, you can use it for podcasting, you can use it for everything. It doesn't need a 48 volt boost. It doesn't, you can just kind of run it over with your car and still probably plug it in and it'll probably work. Et cetera, et cetera. Things, what, about $100 or so? So that's my one mic. My one mic, if you can only get one. But unsurprisingly, I might have a couple more than that. So, in some ways, that hotbar positioning for my healing potions is a little odd, but for me, it works specifically for my kind of hand here, because I can go, if I go like this, I'm doing control and 4. And so if I don't want my main healing on my main hotbar, I'll often use the control 4 point, the 4th slot on the 4th hotbar for kind of a main one, and that's just because it's a natural reach position for my hand. I assume other people do the same thing, but I guess I haven't really heard a lot about that. Yeah, some pops and clicks. That's what I'm hearing too, Wilburster. And I don't know what the cause of that is. I think it would probably resolve itself if I killed the stream, rebooted the computer, killed the stream, turned off the computer, reseated everything, and then rebooted. But I'm not going to do that today because it's just not that big a deal. I think it'll be okay. My guess is it's depends on the audio volume level. Like if it's turned down regular, maybe you don't hear it so much. I dropped this to hard just for the thing, but I would have been willing to solo this too. This character doesn't totally suck. Although the end fight of Servants still remains a particular challenge, especially if we had gone in on Elite, that would have put it at 18, right? Because 16 is the base on that, I think. And, because, yeah, we're on 17 right now, aren't we? Yeah, 17. So 18, and if we were level 15, that would have put us, oops. Hey, watch me abuse my power. I have the power. I need more inventory. Well, let me just go and get some then. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. It could also be like a keystroke issue or something like that. That's picking up some weird stuff. Yes, I'm doing Servants of the Overlord on Arganessen. So that is the big news of the week. Then is we've announced a new release date, which I guess I would have probably argued is really kind of a more realistic release date or what have you. We're going to do a little more polish and bug fixing. Do a Lamania preview next Tuesday through Thursday, and that'll be the big piece of news. There is one more thing, though. Let me once I get at the next Rest Shrine or whatever, let me pop in and look at my calendar to double check. But I think I've got news on the event front for next week. It's always interesting to think about changes that come to the game that really, truly change your gameplay. And in my mind, one of the bigger ones we've done has been... did I already do this? I already did this, didn't I? Am I going back to where I was? I am. Sorry about that. I think I got turned around here.
Chasm filled with jagged rocks and sharpened stakes lies under a narrow path. One wrong step.
Oh no! I thought I could make it. That's what you get for being. That's what you get for being cocky. Yeah. I'll be fine. I'm a big tough guy. Yeah. But yeah, it's shoot, what was I saying now? So that preview should be real interesting. I have had a request to put together a Sharn wallpaper, and I think I can get one out this weekend. It's a little challenging because I've got to make sure that everything is kind of approved and among all the different parties and that. We're not yet released, so I have to be a little careful what imagery I show and all that sort of thing. But I think I've got kind of a general kind of Sharn city line image that I might be able to get out this weekend. And if so, stay tuned to Twitter. I'll put it into a typical 1920 by 1080 style
Nothing is left of the drow gathering dragon shards
wallpaper, and you can take a look at that if you're interested.
Whatever did this must not be
Crystal Cove. I don't think Crystal Cove is coming up too soon here. Guess give me a second. Call up something. Check. Next Thursday is May the 2nd. May the 2nd. Yes, okay. So, next Thursday, the Mimic Hunt is going to be coming back. And that'll be for a full weekend, full week, second weekend. So that should be pretty cool. For those of you who have been requesting that we bring the Mimic Hunt back. So that'll be happening next week. Should be pretty cool. I've also looked into the possibility, and we don't have it scheduled yet, but we've looked into the possibility of perhaps doing an anniversary event encore based on requests really from the community saying, could I just get one more week on that anniversary event? And so we might do that too. I don't know that we don't have a date in mind or anything for it yet, but we're considering it. So if you feel strongly either way about that, let me know. But so yeah, next Thursday, basically through May 12th, probably shut off on May 13th, will be the Mimic Hunt. We're not doing the optional. Oh, what changes in the game make you change the way you play? I was just going to comment that one of the biggest I can think of from recent memory is the update to Caneth Crafting that redid the Caneth Crafting system to use collectibles. I remember at the time when it first got proposed, I wasn't opposed to it. Personally, I thought it sounded like a neat idea. But I'm really happy with the way it came together. And talk about, it's almost like if you started playing now, do you think that you would know that there was a large era of the game where nobody really ever clicked on collectibles? Or few people ever did? And if they did, it was just mostly because, why not? Or maybe for a few potions here and there or something like that on a free account or what have you. And it's really become a pretty interestingly vital thing for the game for those who want to partake in it. And that's the other thing I kind of like about it, is that you don't really, if you don't want to do Caneth Crafting, I don't think you have to. But if you do, you'll get some benefit from it. So it's kind of the best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned. But I was thinking about changes to the game that really changed the way you do something fundamentally, and I think that's one of the most recent ones I can think of. I'm sure there are others that maybe we could find, but I think in particular the Anniversary Encore is also being driven in part by that new crossbow that's available. We have a lot more people who have had an opportunity now to kind of play around with Inquisitive and figure out what they maybe want to do, and maybe that particular weapon is fitting into their build in a nice way. So I think we have some level of that going on as well. But that's fine. I mean, that's a perfectly valid reason to run the event. So cool, Yeah. And there was a couple things for collectibles. Like, I know a fair number of, truly free-to-play players who are starting off, using those collectibles to get kind of cure serious potions and things like that. Or even, say, harm scrolls and that you can get. There are a few things that are still pretty worthwhile, but it was certainly a fairly lesser game system until that change. And I think it's really come into its own in a pretty interesting way. I have to admit, I do not know if that crossbow has a unique look. I am tempted to say probably, but I guess I haven't personally looked. Buff up. And I'm not even really a huge Caneth crafter, although I certainly tend to use it for low-level stuff quite a bit. But, hey, we'll just shrine up while we can. Might as well. Wonderpuff, Sunlover. Might need it. Pet that would pick up your collectibles and put them in your bag. That's like the best pet ever. You're right, Snow White Fox. I tended to just lazily pick up collectibles pretty much my entire tenure. So when we did switch over to that new Kenneth crafting system, I was, I don't want to say set for a little while, but I was pretty happy for a little while until I blew through all that stuff, which of course I did. So. No, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Actually, Todd, Ties? I'm sorry, I don't quite know how to say it. Tog? Uh, you can crunch down your old Kenneth ingredients. Right? You can still do that? However, the old shards you've made are pretty much useless. Oh yeah, if you really want to get into like farming collectibles, there's a lot of great opportunity there to kind of min-max and do whatever it is you feel you need to do with it. I think it's just a matter of I need to reboot the computer, frankly. Clearly's. The computer's been sitting for a couple of weeks and I changed hardware and stuff and I think it just needs a reboot. Specifically, I think it was the removal of the phantom power from the Focusrite that I think is causing an issue that will probably resolve itself were I to reboot. Because the AT2020 does require phantom power. So I found out something this week, and I'm not going to name names because I wouldn't want that person to get harassed or bothered or anything like that. But I found out that not only does someone in the office have a cassette player in their automobile, but that they don't really have much to play on it. So I, being the kind of nerd I am, I'm actually thinking about making an old-fashioned mixtape for said employee. I've got blank cassettes. I've got a tape recorder. I've got two. All right, I think we're good. Everyone good? We'll probably just flip right into Spinner as long as everyone's good. Yep. Oh, Todd is Irish for Timmy. Very cool. Very cool. Timmy. think I might need to reboot. I think I do. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I'll have to include a number 2 pencil with the mixtape just for, you know, necessary reasons. I can actually do it though, because there's actually a couple of ways you can do it if you're feeling retro, or if you want to impress the kids. You can actually hook, like, you know, say stereo out from your computer to, especially if you have a console-style tape recorder, which I do. You can actually hook up Spotify to basically feed out into the tape deck, and you can make your own mixtapes that way that the kids might even dig, so they can have their modern tunes or whatever in an old-school tape deck. So. Yeah, I'm hearing some Endgame talk, new Avengers movie or what have you. Sounds cool to me. I don't really talk about other things too much on the show, and I don't really want to start here. But I've kind of said in the past about Avengers that I like them. I've been enjoying them just fine, but I'm not actually a big. There's a lot of the Avengers movies that I frankly haven't even seen. I did finally, though, just a couple weeks ago, watch the first half of the Avengers movie that's basically coming out here. So that's pretty cool. Okay, good. I didn't get a -20. Alright, sorry about that. Looks like we're in. So I'll probably see it, but it probably won't be anytime soon. Maybe if everyone around me is like, no, you have to go, then I'll go. Otherwise, I probably won't. Yeah, I do. It is interesting to watch the no spoilers kind of discussion happen, because this is one of the big, I guess, mass culture entertainment movies since in quite some time that's got the potential. Probably not since, what, the last Harry Potter, I would guess. Or maybe, no, Star Wars, I guess. Yeah, it'd be Last Jedi, I guess. But this might even be bigger than that in some ways.
Shadow struggles against her weakening bonds, while below her, the spiders consume the last of the flames.
No, it's interesting. I love to talk about it. I try to be careful, because in general, I try to lift people up rather than tear things down. And so when there are things that I'm maybe a little more meh about, I tend to just not talk about them.
I also see that you have allowed some pests to follow you inside. The demon overlord glares down at you with contempt.
Yeah, it's real interesting to me over on Facebook about the Stranger Things kind of resurgence and what kind of impact that's had on not only D&D culture, but the way non-D&D culture understands modern D&D culture. It's pretty interesting, and because in some ways it's retro, but in some ways it's not. It's real cool. I like it a lot. Interesting stuff to read about. Am I killing monsters with an epic banana? Yes.
Now that I am free, I have no need for the other overlords.
I lift you up. No, I don't. Alright.
Not when she awaits me. Now be gone. A burst of blue flame suddenly erupts in front of the demon.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've actually seen I happen to live. I'm a movie buff, and I live within pretty close to 3 larger size theaters that I'll split my time on depending on what I'm seeing and what kind of screen it is and all sorts of other nerdy things. But one of the things that I like about it is, for this particular one, they've done something that I actually kind of think we're going to see more of in the future. I think the current state, as it were, of cinema is such that it makes a lot of sense on something like a big, massive cultural hit like what we have this weekend to really just turn every movie screen into a showing of it. You know, everyone wants to see it opening week, and I think they recognize that, I mean, let's be honest, what, 80% probably of the people going to the movies this weekend are going to see that movie? Maybe not, maybe, but something like that probably. And so it's interesting to see them really just sort of shove out just about everything for opening weekend on a big cultural hit like this. And I doubt I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened. Certainly not. But it's the first time I guess I've seen it more widely, or in my area at least, on a big movie like this. I mean, certainly they'll have extra screens for big movies. That's nothing uncommon. But to truly kind of just have a nothing except for situation like what we're seeing on a wide scale, at least around me, is pretty interesting. I've got the aggro of the spider here. I'm just gonna keep it for now. Oops, I had aggro.
This is pointless, boys. Chorus of chattering echoes the spinner's cries of pain. Spiders crawl out of their hiding places.
ASMR is not working for you, Rangerless. Yeah, let me know what more about what it is you're talking about here, and we'll see what we can do.
Once more, the demon's voice echoes from the shadows above. Demons of Kyber, hear my call. Protect my children.
You change browsers, change your Twitch handle. Yeah, you know, that's interesting. I don't know if that might be one of those kind of bug features, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, the ability for me to have kind of a different main account per browser is really useful, because I can have one for personal, one for Lotro Stream, one for DDO Stream. But I wonder if, you know, you do have to remember which account is, or which browser is which. Any plans on improving guilds? Not, say, hard, concrete plans that we can really get into detail about at the moment, but in general, the answer is yes. There is a hope in the relatively near future to be able to
A feeling of dread overwhelms you, as if darkness has entered your very soul. The spinner of shadows.
Does anyone need 3, or does anyone have 1? Check my chat. Ah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I guess I've heard that about the Hezru. I just would rather just take him out, I guess, myself, but sure.
Come for me, my sister. I am free, and I call to you. Come for me. The Spinner of Shadows decides to change tactics. Arise, my spiders! Destroy the Guardian! Without it, the mortals are lost.
Oh, do the Hezru get stronger every time they respawn? I guess that would make sense, but I guess I hadn't really thought about it.
The swarm of spiders subsides, and the Guardian is once again safe. Time for you to finish relighting the wards.
That's true. Knocking them down with Shield Rush is a really good one too, or even like stand and what is it? Stand and be judged. What's the epic one that you can kind of hop to? I can think of the name of it right now. I've got it on one of my characters, and that's useful for that kind of thing too. It has a moderate cooldown, but not too bad. Alright, I got two more. So Jeremy, I guess really about all I can say about lag is it's something we're always looking to improve on. We have, in recent updates, found some things that are making incremental changes. Specifically, we found a big one last patch, which had to do with an deleterious effect related to spellcasting, for example. And we're trying to knock down those kind of pins whenever we see them. So hopefully things will be getting better over time for you.
She's here. I called to her across the worlds, and now she is here. Your prisons and your wards mean nothing to her. Tremble, mortals.
Making the Hezru dance? Yeah, that's a good one too. I agree. That's fun. Let me see if I can figure out that thing I was talking about. All the cinematic plays.
A voice of vast power booms from inside the breach.
There you are, sister. Did you collect the dragon shards as I commanded?
I have, replies the Spinner of Shadows. The Drow brought them.
Yeah, stand and be judged. It's a tier 3, so you can even twist it in. And this is in Divine Crusader. It's an active ability that can get down to 20 seconds and costs as low as 15 spell points. A targeted foe must make a will saving throw or be stunned for 30 seconds. So the DC is 30 plus your wisdom modifier. So if you have a high wisdom character in particular that can twist in a tier 3, I have, on at least a couple of different characters, used it to great benefit. Not only things like, say, a swashbuckler, perhaps, but really any kind of situation where you really need to be careful or else you are going to find yourself facing a foe you can't do. Now, of course, they can always make that will save, but there are some things you can do to help limit that as well, if you want. All right, nicely done, everyone. Going to turn down the DDO game client because I'm going to be probably playing that video here.
Mistress, the passage to Kaiba remains open to your advantage. The Drow of the Underdark will not fail you. Woe to the intruders who dare enter the demon web. They will be slaughtered as a sacrifice to your greatness. Even that fool, Elminster, will not hinder the darkening that will consume Toril. Nothing will stand in your way.
All right, there we go. In case you wonder how I did that, just pop up the volume mixer on a side window and drop it down for a minute. Ideally, we would solve that problem, but we don't have an extra audio channel to do it with. I think that's what the problem is. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up. I think that's going to wrap it up for this particular party. I'm going to head over to an admin quick and do a pub crawl style thing. So I'll get you a DDO points code in the in-game mail later on today. Hopefully, if I remember to do so, and I will endeavor to do so. I will endeavor to remember. And yes, I'll be back as usual on Wednesday of this next week. And I think this is week 2 of Argo. So I think that would put me on Kenneth next week. And I don't have much of a character on Kenneth, to be honest, but I do have someone, and I need to figure out who that is now. But I think it's like a teenager over on Kenneth. The other piece I guess I'd do a shout out as we're starting to close out the show. Although I do have one more thing I'm doing here. I am wrapping up my Dungeon Master session this Sunday on DDO stream, right here on Twitch. 7 p.m. Eastern is when it starts. And it's The Wizard's Book, Part 3, the final part. Basically, I'm playing around. It's a tabletop stream, and I'm the Dungeon Master on a little kind of mini session I created where these apprentice wizards are stuck in a tower with an invading group of bandits, essentially. Kind of think almost like Panic Room style thing. And with one exception, and that is that I'm playing with the rules of the 5th edition spell system in one particular way, which is that they can combine their spell levels to cast spells, and they can channel spells through each other, almost like kind of Airbender style or what have you. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me... Now this will be fine. So they can kind of channel it. And the basic idea is their wizard that was teaching was like a high-level kind of mega wizard and had a spell book of the entire sort of wizard spells of the 5th edition guide. And the way it's going to work then is these folks can read the book, follow along the spells, and even though they're only level 1 wizards, they can technically, there's 6 of them, so they can cast a level 6 spell. Except I'm being a big stickler on like spell materials and things as well. It's turned into, it was kind of an interesting idea, and it's been turning out in a pretty fun way. This isn't the kind of thing you'd probably do for a long-term campaign, but for kind of a 3-part tabletop like this, it really works. In my opinion, it's been a lot of fun. So I'd recommend it if you want to check it out. That'll be Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/DDO stream, The Wizard's Book, Part 3. Is that a snowman pet? Oh, yes, it is a snowman pet. So on this character, this being an admin character, I was asked to make sure that the snowman pet was actually in the game, and so I created it. Alright, anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set my run speed to a pretty high amount. I could go faster, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to see how... Let me start a clock. Let me see... timer. Nope. It's my watch. Here we go. Pull out my phone here. Alright, stopwatch. See this here. I'm going to see if I can, 1, test my memory as to which every tavern exists in the game, and see how long it takes to get through them. So we're going to see here in just a second. And I'm going to not drink alcohol. Instead, I am going to have... Well, I was going to have broccoli. But you can't get broccoli here. So how about a dirty kobold? Fine, we'll just call it a dirty kobold and pretend it's non-alcoholic. All right, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it is. I'm gonna have to get better as to where it is, but now I know where it is. All right, so that one's done. I'm going to run. We've got a slightly faster, quite a bit faster than normal, run speed. We'll see how long I can do this. All right, so there's Korthos. Going to go on the boat. First off, I'm going to there. This is the first time I've ever tried to do this, by the way. This is a no practice run, so that's why it's a little slower than maybe it could be. Kobold. Alright, next one. Ah, you thought I forgot about the inspired quarter. Nay, nay, I have not. The reason I'm hitching like that is because I'm running faster than I'm supposed to. Oh, I can't. Well, okay. I'll just have to make it a rule of every place I can go, I will go. Oops. There we go. Remember this one? Yeah. Or no, it's city. No. I think that used to be, right? No? Okay, let me think. I, of course, have the Wayward Lobster, but I think is there one other I need to hit? Let's see. It's a potion shack, so no. The house doesn't have one. Airship one, so I guess that doesn't count. I don't know if people are giving me spoilers or not. I don't know if I want spoilers. Let me take a look. Oh, I have auto kill enabled as well? I probably do. Oh, good point. I should probably take that off. Okay. All right. I think this is the harbor. I will call up Twitch chat on the next load screen. Where's my Twitch chat? Here we go. The Rusty Nail, which has really been my de facto non-guild airship home for most of my time in DDO. Hall of Heroes doesn't have a tavern, and because I'm playing... Again, this is only ones I can get to, so I don't think on this particular character I can get to the wizard one. Portable hole. But there would be the portable hole as well, if I can get to it. I could, of course, do an admin cheat and get to it, but that's kind of not the point. Well, it's true. Amrath and... Shoot, I didn't even think about the Cyber Atoll. Oh man, I'm gonna have to talk to the guy there. Alright. Okay, there's a giant hold. It's true. Well, I am already using admin cheats, but this, you know, that's just the point. Yeah, Reavers. I definitely need to do Reavers. Where else am I missing? Oh, I haven't actually done. Did I do? I didn't do the Phoenix yet, did I? Or I did. Yeah, I did do the Phoenix. Whatever, I'll just do another one. Just in case my memory is bad. Oh my god, I have Kol Karan. Jeepers. There's a lot of taverns here now that I think about it. Because, I mean, holy moly, just think about this. Because you're going to have this one here. You're going to have the 12. You'll have Meridia. And then that's not... We haven't even gotten to the houses yet. Or the other worlds, frankly, for that matter, too. But... Yep, Salty Bunch and 3-barrel. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough plat. Oh yeah, I probably will. No. I'm not gonna count the guild ship. Because not everyone's gilded. And this is on an admin, so. Right, I think I'm caught up on that. So I think it's time to do the house, because there isn't one, I don't think, in either Cerulean or Searing Heights. Correct? I think. For some reason I'm having a loading screen issue on this computer today. This computer is clearly having some issues in general, because like I said, I've got some sound stuff going on too. Yes, I did do the Rusty Nail Banjo. If that's not the tavern, though, then no. Is that a tavern, though? Can you actually... They're just quest givers. Yeah, Rusty Nail was done. I'm trying to think, is there one in the Hall of Heroes that I just don't really use? Maybe? I don't know if there's one in the Hall of Heroes or not. Oh yeah, Threnal. Yeah. Oh, oops. Yep, I'm in the Tower of the 12. I just got that one done. And I will just have to, let's see. Nope. I'll have to hit up Meridia later. I think. Nope, not in Lord's March. I think I'm gonna hit the houses next. Yeah, I think you probably could in Chronoscope as well. I think you're probably right there. Bogwater is another popular place for me to personally bind myself to if I'm not like on an airship or whatever. The one that nobody ever used until the anniversary event came around. I remember there was once a bug in the Golden Wing Inn where you could port through and then the door would be gone and so you'd get stuck in here. That was an early bug. That got fixed, but that was a bad one. Of course, Threnal, as stated. Oh, and Tangle Root, right here. Yep. Oh, that doesn't even think about all the ones that are in Quest, too, because, yeah, there's a whole bunch there, aren't there? Oh, man. It's true. But there is one here, right? Yeah, the golden wing. Uh-huh. Oh. Of course, you've got the necropolis here. Nope, I got the bog water. And we don't have one up top, although we probably should sometime. What? The necropolis is the first one we've run into that does not have a dirty kobold. Guess I'm gonna have to go for the broccoli juice. Yeah, Threnal used to be there, but they moved it. I still will forever go there instead. That's just how I work. I still get lost on where Kobold Assault is every time, too. So that is... There we go. Delver's Canteen. That's a phrase you don't hear very much. There's some roadside rest stop that I go to frequently on my road trips related to custody and stuff that calls itself a canteen. There's an arrow on the road that says canteen this way, and I'm always struck by it. It's like, canteen? Well, you don't really hear people using that word too much anymore. Oh, knock me down. And now I'm lost. Lost in Threnal Ruins. There we go. There we go. All right, so that is that. That is that. There's not one over there, I don't think. So I think we've hit House P. Pardon me. I'm sure you could do a tavern drink like that. I can't imagine us doing it, but... Anvil Fire, of course. Indeed. The Tavern in 3-barrel. Oh, actually, I'm going this way. I will take a look at that building you're thinking of and see if I can... Oh, that's right. It's no longer here. One of them is the Jarasco chapter house, I believe. It's not really utilized, but it exists. Eye of Kolkaran. No, Banjo. That was an idea that ended up falling by the wayside. That Travelarium idea fell by the wayside. It really, after doing a little kind of both conceptual and practical work on it, we just sort of realized that it wasn't the direction we wanted to go. Almost. You're right. We should do that at some point. Either remove the Travelarium or do something else with it. I just don't think it's really risen to a level of priority that has caused us to want to do so. Oh, potion vendor. Where is the... Oh, here we go. Barkeep. Yeah. What? Oh, there we go. Okay. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to admin cheat rather than deal with the thing to get. So, let's see. I think that takes care of all that. So House Jarasco is next. It's true. Then over here. And this is the building you're probably talking about, right? This big one on the end? That's the chapter house. You can actually go in there. Was there a shortcut added for Reavers? Maybe there was. I just haven't run in a while and don't remember. But yeah, you can actually go in here. And yeah, you can hide here for fun. There's just like a little hangout place. It's never really been used for anything, but it exists. It's cool. So that is Churrasco. I'm going to count the other realms as other realms. Back in the days when Vaughn was king. Still is, of course, but when it really was, this was one crowded tavern. I don't think I skipped the open palm in. If I did, someone let me know, but I don't think so. I know, Growler. Well, this actually won't be too much longer. Probably another 10 minutes. I'm just basically cutting into what was my lunch otherwise. So. "12 is the most common parking zone?" Okay. Did I skip Anvil Fire? Oh, I did skip Anvil Fire, didn't I? Because, yeah, I turned right first. Well, I'll have to hit up Anvil Fire here. Yep. Oh, I got it? Okay, cool. The kobold cookies should turn you into a kobold. Yes. WA... sorry, I'm not sure how to say the name on YouTube. The Steam version is the same version of the game as the PC version, and you will not be segregated in terms of the population. You'll be able to play with the regular group. Best taverns in the game. The Resort Spa. Where's the bartender, though? I should cheat my platinum up. If I need to, I will. But probably fine. It doesn't, like I say, I'm an admin. I can create whatever I need to. It doesn't really matter. Ah! Oh no! Fine. We'll cheat now. Dun dun dun. I think it has to do with harassment, Titan, as to why you generally can't friend admins. We also don't want people tracking when we're on and off all the time. People do that anyway, but it'd be a little different. I did House K now. So next is C. Because there is no tavern in... There is no tavern in Catacombs. I love this outdoor tavern here. It's one of my favorites. There is. I guess I've never really been to the other one. Does it? Crafting hall instead, right? Yeah, correct. Okay. So, actually, I'm just going to... That takes care of, if I think, Stormreach. So... Oops. So, of course, we've got probably the most well-known... Yep, yeah, I took care of that House C one, but there's not a second in House C, right? Yeah, I don't think so, because at the time it was replaced essentially with the Kenneth Crafting Hall. I think. I'm trying to think here too, where's the other taverns in Evening Star? Is there one over by... over by... No? There's one outside of that raid entrance then. Storm Horns. Oh, and Wayloon, right. That's the one. Oh, no. General vendor. I'm going to say this doesn't count. This is not a tavern. I'm going to call this not a tavern. It's tavern-like. High Road. Does High Road have a tavern? Yes, I have made an official ruling. It is not a tavern. The ball and chain, however, is. I skipped lunch for this, yes. Important things must be done. Yeah, see, the tavern is a thematic one. I think that's going to do it for Forgotten Realms, right? Second one in here, and there's not one in the cave. Oh, no, Mines of Tethymar, right? Mines of Tethymar's got one somewhere. That is absolutely what is going on here. Yep, here we go. Ah, good call. I'm king. Nothing will escape me. Alright. Yeah, that's... Hyro doesn't have one. None of the others do. I'm going to say... So yeah, Underdark doesn't. Just wait. I don't. If Shindelrin has one, I can't get to it yet, so that doesn't count. So then it'll be the Hall of Heroes and then Barovia. I think that's it. Oh, and I didn't get Meridia, but that's because I can't get there yet. I need to talk to the person and stuff. I'm not at all flagged. But maybe I can pop out there right at the end. Oh, you're right. I haven't done Manectarin either. Oh, man. Yep. Manectarin. And Restless Isles doesn't have... Oh, really? Is that true about Shindy? I did not know that. I guess that makes sense, but... I tend not to actually run the Shindelrin stuff as much as some of the others. But I don't think there's a tavern there, is there? Oop. Another one without a dirty kobold. It does, however, have cactus sap, so we'll have that instead. I tend to play predominantly on Thelanis these days, but I have characters on all the servers. Double check. I think that's it. I got Meridia, and then I got Ravenloft. I'll do Ravenloft next. I did do Tangleroot, yep. They have dirty kobolds, they do. So we'll see where we end up here, of course, but it could well be. Let's see. Could well be that there are only 2 taverns that you cannot get a dirty kobold. That being the Manectarin Desert and Lower Necropolis. Where am I? I'm Blue Water. Yeah, Blood on the Vine. Van Richten has got a bartender, I think. No? Nope. Nope. Guide. Okay, so we're okay there. So I think Meridia's the only one I've got left, because I can't get to the one yet that's on, because of flagging reasons. I can't get to the Dreaming Dark one, right? And I feel like there's one or two more that I'm missing, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I went to Restless Isles, so I did get that one. And I'm going to check out the Hall of Heroes here next. Oh yeah, the Crystal Cove public area would be one, but we don't have access to that at the moment. Where's Auctioneer Bay? Under, must be down. I don't remember where the bartender is here. Epic Trainer, Plains Caller. Those of a Tavern. Banker. Yeah, I'm tempted to say no tavern in the Hall of Heroes. Right? And yes, the portable hole, but I don't have a way to get there without cheating. So I don't think I'm not in a guild either, so I can't do that. And I can get to Meridia, but I'm going to have to go into the 12 first and talk to the NPC, I think. Or teleport via the DDO store, but I think, whatever, it's fine. We'll see if I can end my sojourn at Meridia and then probably call it there. And so we've hit almost all the taverns in the game that you could kind of do without flagging or be a specific class or type of class in order to play. Oh, that's Searing Heights. But no, Searing Heights does not have one. Yeah, I do that a lot too. No, I am right. I think... Nope, that's the region vendor. Scroll vendor. Nope. I kind of felt like there was one tavern here I was missing, but maybe not. Yeah, I did hit that tavern though already. I sworn there was one that was like around a corner, and now I'm not sure where that is now. The outdoor one of the 12 I got. No, I had already... That was my second time going to the 12. I just hadn't picked up Meridia yet. So there is no technical limit on the speed max, CJ Lopez, but I am running really on the edge of about as fast as we would ever want to use run speed in the game client. After a certain point, you run faster than the game is really programmed to keep up with you. And you see some of that here when I'm on an admin. You'll see some things that don't appear right, or that render late and things like that. Any place that spear? It comes up, but we have so far not. There's a bunch of weapons we'd love to do sometime. Who knows? Maybe. All right, I think that is going to wrap up the show then. Thanks for watching Friday afternoon here on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, I crashed a few times and all that. I've got 44 minutes and 5 seconds. So let's call it about 40-ish minutes to visit all the taverns in DDO. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Have fun, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday. See you.